One New Mexico man stepped up to help millions of Ukrainian refugees forced to flee their homes. He just returned from Poland and shares his experience with Alex Ross.
He lives here in Dexter, but usually Mike Jimenez is traveling around the world.
New Zealand, Australia, small island in the Pacific called Rarotonga, Shanghai, China.
Those are just some of the places Jimenez, a retired college instructor, has been. In April, he planned to make another trip to Mount Everest, but the Russian invasion of Ukraine changed his plans.
The more I saw what was going on, the more compelled I was to go and do something.
Instead, he traveled to Poland and heard about a refugee center in Cheshmil, a town on the border with Ukraine. Each day, the shopping center turned refugee center was inundated with people.
When I first arrived, it was very crowded. There may have been 2,000 or 3,000 people in the building.
For 2 weeks, Jimenez cleaned, offloaded supplies, and assisted those displaced by war. People would arrive, spend 48 hours there, then be transported to another country, each facing an uncertain future and a past reduced to rubble.
They're leaving their country. The majority of them don't speak English or any other language. They're being sent off to another country where they don't know the culture, they don't know the language, probably won't know anyone. So their culture is just being destroyed.
The refugee center included phone charging stations, pet supplies, and entertainment for children. But the emotional toll of war was always in the back of their minds.
Some of the people were just had this blank look on their face, and they're just stare off into the distance. And
even amid the loss, Jimenez said there was inspiration in people willing to help strangers.
It was winter there. It was snowing. And there were volunteers that were sleeping out in tents outside. There were people that would come in and they would work as hard as they could.
Making his time in Ukraine something he'll never forget.
It's this real feeling of doing something without any benefit of getting anything back, you know? You just go do it, and so you feel great, you know, for doing it.
Alex Ross, KOB4.